Hello, ladies and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and you know what? I'm keeping that in. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Copper Owl, here bringing you a Lego video. Kind of a history video, actually. We have here the history of Boba Fett's blasters. Okay, and I have an original Boba Fett. I never bothered to get a new one, nor have I bothered to get the Mando and all that, because I don't buy Star Wars stuff anymore. But yeah, this is the blaster he came with. Now, I had two of these. One of them don't know what happened to him, but I got another one later on, and all that. So there we go. And this one's a bit newer than the original, but yeah, I still have. But anyway, so I wanted Boba Fett to have a better look, a good blaster to put on display, something that looked accurate. And this was of course, this doesn't look accurate at all. It's very, very toyish, very old Lego. But that was the first blaster he came with. Later, I believe in the Slave 1, he came with this one. And then later, I guess in another Slave 1, he came with this one. And for a while, this was his blaster. And this was canonical, because here's the Dark Side book, and you can see it's right there, the EE-3 carbine rifle. So this is technically the build you're supposed to use. But for a long time, they've been using this one. This one sucks. It looks stupid. I get the idea that this is supposed to be the scope, but it looks bad to me. And also, you put it right there, it looks like a freaking silenced weapon and all. It just doesn't look right. So I built 3 here. So this one is the one I like the most because it kind of has that Lego feel where it's big, it's blocky, it's cartoony, but it has that the EE-3 look. It has the scope. It has the big round thing. It doesn't have the stock, which is always a shame, but you got to get like the foot lock. You got to get the musket, cut a part of it off and all that to get that look. But it will never like look right, like with him aiming. But yeah, this is probably the most accurate it's ever going to get. But it's really cartoony, really too big. But then there's this one. And this one is just right. It's a bit too long, but it has that look to it. It has the scope. This one is probably the best one in all intents and purposes. So if you want to pose him in a scene, I would suggest using this one. It just has that look. If you pose it right, he looks like he has it like in the movie and all that. Let me lift up his arm a little. You pose it right, there you go. It's his blaster. But canonically, it's this one. But this one also has an advantage that this one doesn't. Because for stop motion or like for battle scenes, you can attach this or a lightsaber blade to look like a blaster bolt coming out of it. This has that advantage. The original one, if you took out the stud, has that advantage. The more newer one has that advantage. Even this brick build one I made has an advantage. That is the only one that doesn't have that advantage. But this also has another advantage. This one and the original one both have the advantage. If you get Luke Skywalker here, you go poop and take off the front of it, and you can recreate the scene where Boba Fett jumps down, points his gun, and goes psh, and all that. With both of those blasters. And they look incomplete, especially this one because it has its accessories. Whereas the other blasters, take out the front part, they still look like a blaster. So, that's really all I have to say about that. I love Boba Fett. He's one of my favorite characters from the original series. And all that. And I was a guy who knew expanded universe stuff. So I knew a little bit more about him. So that's the type of kid I was. I have like a bunch of Boba Fett figures. And all that. I love the bounty hunters. I love that idea of being a bounty hunter in Star Wars. So, as a kid, I wasn't really a Jedi guy. I was more bounty hunters and separatists. But this gun right here, oh, it's backwards, but this one, special, So I have the concept art Boba. So it's his original concept art blaster. I don't know what this gun is based off of. Always try to find the answer to that, and nobody has it for me. But if anybody could tell me in the comments, tell me what is Boba Fett's original blaster into concept art supposed to be. I also have the action figure of him too. But yeah, and since this is the more original, have him holding this. Doesn't align as well, but it kind of has that look. And then putting this one on. Yeah, it's his blaster. This is his blaster right here. So, he ain't good to me dead. So you all have a nice day. Bye-bye.